Ladies and gentlemen, I swear I didn't do this on purpose. I swear I didn't do this on purpose. But it's funny. Alright, so. Let's wrap this thing up and go home. Hang on, we don't have mouse control again. Let's do a transition. Oh, now! Now Dark Day responds. I see how it is. You waited till I hit record. You waited! I knew it! Beat 'em up block, Yakuza 0, and Dealer's Choice. And thank you for 3 years of support, Dark Day, very much. Always appreciate it. And I will put that anniversary sub towards those 2 games. Now, can I hit A now? Hey! Hey! No excuses, Dark Day. Oh god, of course I've already forgotten the name. This whole morning. This freaking morning. In a second. Someone on YouTube, so I mentioned, like, where the hell are we? Like, what's going on? Someone on YouTube mentioned something that I wanted to share. It was Look and Neo. Said, we're inside of a save point. There's more to it than that. It's a well thought out, but like that's where we are. We're inside one of the save points of the game. Also, I think I just noticed the clouds in between the data space things for the first time. Good lord. Oh god, Pillars of Snow, that's horrific! Why would you do that to yourself? Why do you hate yourself, Pillars of Snow? Okay, so final dungeon. Let's at least fight some stuff here so we can show off how much it sucks. Remember, we are super maxed, not turbo maxed. We do not have the best accessories, and we have not fully filled out the grid. Hey, it is not my job to tell you what you are allowed to like, Pillars of Snow. Unless you like, you know, like Nazis or something. In that case, I might step in. Alright, I can't wait to see what kind of insane, incredible dungeon design we have for the final dungeon here. No, it's been getting worse, Triaxia, noticeably. Thank you, Pillars of Snow. We here at the Lore Walkers are totally okay with both of those stances. Yeah, I was wondering about that too, Strife. The presumption would be that monsters don't have souls. They don't talk about this a lot in FF13 Vanilla, but the thing that distinguishes humans from everything else is that they have souls. The problem is there's a lot of parts of that that don't really make sense, because supposedly the source of their souls is chaos. But chaos is everywhere, and can influence everything. In fact, chaos can even influence the fal'Cie, and Beelzebub himself. So, like, if anyone can have chaos in them, aka a soul, you've lost me, right? What makes humans so special? That could be, Roxy. That's valid. Or yeah, maybe it's the right frequency or the right combination of chaos. Maybe it was something that only happened once and it's a live stream thing, so there's like a finite amount of let's call it sentience chaos in the world. Because if you think about it, FF7 and 9 actually follow that same mentality. Like, I'm pretty sure the creators of those games didn't think about that, but if you really think about the world building, in FF7 and 9, there is a hard cap on how many humans could be alive at any given point in time. Because Lifestream can't propagate. It is a finite resource. It's a zero-sum game.
I didn't get it.
What's it not to get? You're inside a save point. Oh.
Cocoon is destroyed? Won't the Faust Sea be destroyed along with it?
That's a weird thing to bring up here. I resist the notion that I am awesome, Walker, but thank you very much. As always. And I will put that towards another Crusade, Gravity Circuit, and Chained Echoes. Yeah, it's actually funny. Forgotten Realms has addressed this exact same manner in kind of the opposite way that Dakota just mentioned with Exalted, where souls can be propagated. Souls can be built, for lack of a better way to put it. So there's actually an infinite possible amount of souls as long as people keep having other people. I lost my controls again. There we go. This freaking game, I swear. That hurt like hell. What's an NPC, Roxy? Was that like Bartholomew? Because he's the best character in the game. Changed my mind. You die already? God. I mean, yeah, no, exactly, Kennick Scowl. In Forgotten Realms, as long as people keep having children.
How can it end like this?
So I've actually technically already given this negative, but I want to stress that we just died while being super maxed. Now, yes, I held on to that for a little bit too long, but I want you to think about that. I want you to think about walking into Kefka's Tower at level 99 and dying to a random trash mob because you decided not to heal for a few seconds. That is an unacceptable gap. I'm sorry.
Turn the tide.
Oops, wrong one, wrong one, wrong one. Like, I should not be in imminent threat of death because I made one minor mistake.
We can win this.
Oh God, my heals aren't even keeping up at all. Look at that. Hope is dead. Hope is just dead. I don't remember how to use Army of One. Oh, anyway, there it is.
It's over. You're going to.
That was underwhelming at best. I've never heard the Japanese voice acting tracks, so I don't know. I think you're right, Lord Aramon. Anyways, my point is, this last dungeon is particularly... Like, this isn't even just my opinion. Even the devs have admitted that this part of the game is just badly balanced. In fact, it would be better to say it's not balanced at all. They just threw together some stats and said, here. And they gave you tons and tons of ways to grind. And so that's good enough. Call it a day. Isaac Taft. Yeah, actually, Roxy. Or Mother Zero, to use another example of a game that just wasn't balanced at all. This feels like I've already been through here. That's alright, let's save a little bit. Thank you for the sub, that Rift person. I'm so sorry that you're listening to me watch FF13. Excuse me, play FF13 instead of Star Trek. We don't have a lot of Star Trek games. There's not so much I can do about that. As usual, if you want to put that sub towards up to 3 future streams, do please let me know. Oops, hang on. Face issue here. Let's scooch that. Scooch that. And scooch that. Okay. Oh, hang on, we're fighting a trash mob, so we better fully buff for this. You've got to be kidding me. Hope's dead. That game for chill. I don't hate this game. It's not my job. This isn't a baseball bat game.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's go back to buffing.
Keep out of it.
Hope is dead. Let's just reset. Let's just reset. But yeah, I've never heard of Look Outside. What is it, if you don't mind sharing? Yes, I did know that, Zacta. He does an interesting job of it.
You like to beg.
He's actually the voice of Sephiroth in pretty much everything until FF7R1. Little more buffing out here. And we're dead.
Just like that.
Off Mortis Ghost is on the list and kind of close to funded, Cat Viper, if that answers you. This bodes well, let me tell you. It's the enemies. Let's just get out haste. Just haste. Clearly trying to buff fully is just not working out. Hope's dead. And we're dead. Okay, hang on. Let me give a few more negatives here. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the guessing game really soon if you want to adjust your guesses. This is pretty much the time to do it right now. Oh, if it's a horror game, then no, that red person. Horror games are pretty much universally banned. The only horror games still on the list are ones who were grandfathered in. Let's see. Silent Hill 2 was historically significant and grandfathered in. The rule actually came in after Silent Hill 2 was out of this. In fact, I actually have a full list of every horror game still on the list. It's right here. Let's see. We've got Amnesia: The Dark Descent, I Have No Mouth and Must Scream, Resident Evil 8, Dead Space 1, and that's actually it. That's everything that is left. Okay. Take 8 or whatever we're up to. I would like those initial buffs.
Too light to beg.
Okay, cool. Got stunned before I could do anything. Very cool.
Thanks.
Switch back up to here. So, I have a stupid question. Because I spend a fairly large amount of time and effort on my website. If there's an issue with it, I'd like to know. So what's the issue with the website you're having? Seven crossed the line for me a bit. That's why it's not on the list. I just flat out said no to 7. Please attack.
Take down.
Okay. Bicycle is dead. Whew. Well, I apologize for the ass take, Mr. Red. We do have a couple left, Pillage of Snow. Just a couple. Like 4, actually, but whatever. We did it, everyone. We successfully beat 1 trash pack. That gives us nothing in response, but we have no benefit from these enemies at this point. They don't drop anything, and we're as maxed as we're getting on the Crystarium, because we need tens of thousands of Crystarium points per node right now. So, this is all just waste.
Take down the enemy.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking to myself I should probably start using Deceptisol. Could anybody else who has a moment do me a favor and check to make sure my website is accessible right now? Listen, I'm not into tall women, Pillage of Snow. Now, her actress. Ooh. Good morning, Sean. Wow, that... What? Oh, yeah, I should give a negative for that, too. While we're here. While we're here. Hi, Rax. I'm in. You gotta say it right. I'm in. Ah. Okay. I actually don't know much about Resident Evil 8. We'll just know. I only know how incredibly thirsty people have been for Lady Dimitri. I Game Geek. No judgment. So, hey, okay, Mr. Red. Okay, never mind. Here we go. Sorry, I should explain that before I just suddenly call out Mr. Red's name and be like, never mind. I was just thinking to myself, one of the biggest issues I've been having is the EU has slightly different requirements for websites, which, let me tell you, has been a colossal pain in my ass for my own website. But I have done everything I can to try and accommodate those requirements. But if people across the pond can access it, then that's not it. Well, admittedly, you're not in the EU, Mr. Red, so that's not as definitive as it could be. Which... yeah. I look forward to reading more about that in like 20 years when all the history books say, man, isn't it terrible how the UK left the EU? Or great. Maybe it's a great thing. I don't know. It could be a good thing. You don't know. I mean, when I conquer the EU, the UK will be like the last bastion of resistance against me. You could lead the resistance, Mr. Red. But listen, Mr. Red, hey. I will ensure that they make a new Kingsfield game if you turncoat and, like, just work as my puppet in the resistance. And let me tell you, this new Kingsfield game will suck. It'll be so bad. You have no idea. It's gonna be great. No, it'll have PS1 vibes. Yeah, I honestly been trying not to pay attention to that Valerian for obvious reasons. Like, it's gonna be like... it's basically gonna be Kingsfield 1 again, except worse. No, it's okay, that Rift person. I always want to do my due diligence on stuff like that. That's why I didn't approach it like with the perspective of, what's wrong with you, man? No, I just want to make sure that everything's on the up and up, because stuff happens, right? That's what maintenance means, is constantly having to upkeep. Now, to Coin being able to access the website, that is useful information. Why, Mr. Ed? If I didn't already have tons of games I'm absolutely dreading going through, I would totally do a review of Kingsfield 1 someday, just to really make it fundamentally clear how absolutely terrible that game is. Stop it! God damn it! But let's get through the other, like, 6 months of crap I have to go through first. Like, we still have to play FF11, among other things. So he just randomly decided that I should die there.
How can it end like this?
Because I want to stress this from... in fact, I want to give this a separate negative, because this is the second enemy in this dungeon that has access to the death spell. Now, I don't know, I don't want to flex. Okay, here. I've been playing video games for a long time, for about 40 years, actually. I've been analyzing games for like a decade and a half at this point, you know. I've got a whole lot of backing, so I think I could fairly comfortably say giving the enemy access to an AoE death spell when if your main character dies, you game over, it's kind of a dick move. I had a thought this morning, no joke, about whether I'd rather play FF1 on the NES or this. You don't want to hear my answer.
Follow my lead!
Yeah, all I have to do is go grind I forget what the enemy is to get ribbons. It's a really rare drop rate.
Thanks.
It's really rare. FF2 NES? Yeah, I'd still rather play that than this. Please don't take offense to that. Anybody who likes this game, please don't. That is not the intention of that statement. It was just a random thought that occurred to me this morning. It was actually part of a mental self-check of, have I been exaggerating? And so I used that as a metric of, is this where I'm at? And the answer is, no, I really would rather play FF1 on the NES. Sorry. Like, don't mistake me. This is not me praising FF1 on the NES. FF1 on the NES is a terrible, terrible game. But I know it better. It is easier to break in half. It is actually possible to break it in half. And it's shorter. It also has less grind spots, which is funny when you think about it. Right, I should be using Decepticol. I keep forgetting it even exists. I think FF15 is better than this. Oh, that's a question. Oh yeah, but there's a bunch of boss fights in here. I don't know if I even mentioned that. We mentioned that a couple days ago. They're also repeat bosses because they were out of time and money at this point. I was talking to Pax about this just last night. He's actually never beaten this game because when he hit the we've started running out of time and money point, which, as a reminder, is the Bartandalus fight, he was like, I'm good. Yeah, this dungeon is actually completely unnecessary, especially since, even though, well, I'm not a huge fan of it, the previous dungeon is far better of an actual finale dungeon. It even has all the bookends to the first dungeon. The first Bartandalus fight. The Bartandalus fight. Hi, Reggie. So FF15, obviously I have some personal history with FF15, but to be honest, that has nothing to do with it. Let's actually look at FF15 for a second, because I still haven't answered that question. So FF15's combat is way more boring than this one. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not super into the combat of this game, but a lot of that isn't down to the combat itself, so much as the enemy design. Yeah, no, exactly, let us know. Like, the encounter design of this game is honestly pretty bad. Now, in FF15, they have equally bad encounter design and worse combat. Okay, so, yeah, you hold down one button or the other. That's not actually a jet. You know how everyone memes on Kingdom Hearts for being just hit triangle to win? That's actually FF15. No hyperbole, no exaggeration. And yeah, there's control issues and there's some targeting issues, and let's just move it. Yeah, FF15's combat is the minigame. The fishing minigame, exactly. Anyways.
Where's this end?
If there is one, I can't see it.
True, villagers know.
All these seafood people once. Like us.
But that's what Bartandalus is going for. Don't you see? Make us feel guilty, lose faith. And the second we give up, it's focus time.
Wait till we're broken, slip on the leash.
Yeah, well, When you think about it, having all this empathy, it puts us humans at a big disadvantage.
Maybe. But it's also what makes us dangerous.
Hell yeah. Wait, what?
Bang? What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Just that time's running short.
It's okay. My mind's made up this time. We'll just make Cocoon our home.
Yeah. I guess we will.
I mean, didn't they do that with Sid, Trihexia? Anyway, so as usual, that cutscene says nothing. Moving on. So, FF15. So, combat is rough. And encounter design is rough. And boss design is kind of non-existent for the most part. To be clear, most of what I'm talking about applies to the vanilla game. I freely admit the DLCs did a lot to flesh all this out. The problem is, a lot of what the DLCs did is very isolated to those DLCs. So the Prompto and the Ignis DLCs especially are legit, and then they're done, right? So, shrug. Anyways, but then you add the side quests. So, FF15 has a lot of side quests. Like, a lot of side quests. I don't think it has more than Xenoblade 1, but that is 100% what they were going for. Because all the side quests are very vacuous. And, I didn't know that, Pillars of Snow. I accept being wrong on that point. Ignore me. Let's ignore the DLC entirely. So, ignoring the DLC entirely, the combat is boring, and the encounters are boring, and the bosses are boring. And this, yeah, that's the funny thing is, it's one of those awful, awful games where there are actually some good side quests, and then there's everything else. And the reason that's worse than if everything was padding is it means you don't know which ones to do and which ones to skip, unless you, like, already have a list curated by another real person, right? And that's frustrating as hell, because it just means you have to run around doing all the side quests. And let me tell you, a lot of them really suck. And again, there's a lot of them. Then we have to talk about pacing.
Let's wrap this
So let's talk about pacing. So in FF15, you start off the game, and you have access to basically nothing, but you get access to some of your traversal and movement stuff pretty early on. Okay, cool. That's cool. I'm with it. Then you spend... Let's assume you're doing side stuff. I'd say maybe 85, maybe 90% of your time. This is really loud. On your first map, the first overworld section, right? Right at the beginning of the game. And you spend, and I'm not exaggerating, about 80, 85, 90% of your entire playtime in that overworld map. The moment you move on from it, which it's worth noting you could do pretty quickly, but the moment you move on from that, the pacing of the game gets noticeably worse. And like you basically race through a town section, then you race through a dungeon, then you race through another dungeon. Then there's the new Chapter 13, which is good, I'll give you that. The new Chapter 13 is good. The old Chapter 13, not so much. Then you have the spoiler thing towards the end, which I'm horrifically against. Hated that part of the game. And then you have the last dungeon, and that's the whole game. It is very strange structure. Yeah, also, towns are there, but not? And certain aspects of how the leveling works are just weird. And, like, you could pick your classes, but it barely changes. And the whole game is just very strange. Which makes sense. So, yeah, you said, would it be an indicator that it was rushed? So FF15 is the worst of both worlds. It was rushed, and it took too long at the same time. Please stop casting death on me. Yeah, every time you see that sound effect and the visual effect, that's them casting death.
Thanks.
Go!
So, the problem is, I can't summarize 15's problems. If you really want me to go in depth into 15's problems, do me a favor, go watch my lore run of it. I go quite a bit in depth into 15, the original 15, the second 15, the 15 we got, the patched 15, and then the 15 that was supposed to be. So, I don't have a really good answer for that, Mr. Ed, but I think the real problem there is 15 is just kind of a waste of my time. And I know that sounds like an insult, but I don't really mean it at one. It's just... yeah. Yeah, nobody involved in 15's creation got to cook. That's actually a great way to put that, Rex. Because it's true. Nobody involved was allowed to cook. There were people... there were people in the kitchen who were told to stare at the utensils. And they did. Yeah, by the way, I have gone on record as saying that the Principal Trio, I am discounting Gladio from that, are some of the best cast in the entire FF franchise, and I stand by that. They have good dialogue, good dynamic with each other, good acting, powerful moments, actually acknowledge change and differences, all kinds of cool stuff. They're great. So Gladio is there because drama, and that's the simplest way I could put that. He's there to be the token drama guy, and that's pretty much his point and purpose.
You're gonna squirm!
Well, Hope is dead.
You're gonna squirm! You're gonna squirm!
And I'm dead.
How can it end like this?
Yeah, Gladio has probably a grand total of 2 cutscenes he actually shines in. One of which is in a side quest. I might be exaggerating, but I can only think of the 2. Even his DLC was not very good, compared to both Ignis's and Prompto's, which were great. How so, Maze?
Let's wrap this up!
And Hope is dead.
You're gonna squirm! We can win this! You're gonna squirm!
Bang's dead.
Now! Don't panic. Turn the tide! You're gonna squirm! You're gonna squirm! Let's wrap this up! You're gonna squirm! Now! Cheers! You're gonna squirm! You're gonna squirm!
Thanks.
You're gonna squirm!
You're gonna squirm, Kid Viper. I suppose that's valid, Maze. It's just, I've had so many experiences where so many of the enemies are literal DPS checks that it didn't occur to me to nerf my own damage just for the sake of survivability. Valid point, though.
There's something strange about that one.
Really? What's strange about that one, Hope? The bike we just fought is one of them. The one that kept killing me. You have to break it before it does its big AoE death attack. Also, the trash in here are the crystal dudes who cast death, so you want to kill them before they cast death. So that's 2 trash in this dungeon that are DPS checks. Now, other than that, I can only come up with 1, which is Barty himself, which is a Doom fight, as you just mentioned. So, that doesn't count for anything. I feel like I can think... Oh, yeah, bombs. That's another one.
I think I'd strain my neck looking up at that.
I think that's it, then? I don't know. I shouldn't even say that. I know nothing. I know nothing. If I am unwilling to accept I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I swear I've seen a game where save points were a boss.
You're gonna swerve!
Is that near Automata?
Let's go! You're gonna swerve!
I'm not, Mr. Red. Oh no, I don't have a copy of Kingsfield 1. I guess I can't play it now. Damn. What a shame that definitely wasn't planned out.
You're gonna swerve! You're gonna...
That's true, Mr. Red. I could jam nails into my palms. Look, Mr. Ed, you were very helpful in helping me cut off my own pinky. I appreciate it. Their Decepticels are 30,000 guild. Oh, I said that weird. Yeah, gil. I should probably save. I am shocked the game hasn't crashed yet, by the way. For those of you not aware, the PC port of 13 is a little crash happy because of bad ports. What are the other two, Valerian? I do have access to a fan patch. I have not been using it.
Turn the tide!
Ah, I actually meant to change my paradigms. Ow. Yep, just gonna lay here on the ground, not taking any actions because of the knockdown animation. Yeah, by the way, it's the Proud Clad again. I think this is it. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, it's gonna be great, Blades of All. I can't wait. Whoops, whoops, whoops.
Turn the tide!
Yeah, we're already 40 minutes in. We're still in the final dungeon. I'm kind of glad we decided not to do this last night. Especially since we hadn't done the audit yet. It's okay, surely we'll beat this game today, right? It's possible we won't. Orphan's a pretty bad final boss fight. And that's how I'm going to describe that. I'm not saying it's the worst FF final boss. Okay, I just ran through him in my head. It is the worst Final Fantasy final boss. The only ones that might have contested it are 10 and 10-2. But honestly, at least those have something going for them and are basically just victory laps. Also, in both cases, they have a real final boss, a gameplay final boss, if you will, prior to the actual final boss. So... You're gonna squirm, Rex.
Thanks.
I think its basic attacks are dispelling. Like, literally, just its regular white damage seems to be dispelling me. I'm not sure because the feedback of this game is really bad. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on at several points in time. Hey, after Twitch account, 1 second. Thank you for the sub. Give me a second. I'll put that towards Hitman Blood Money. R.
Rand's all right?
Time
Don't
Splitters.
shoot Lieutenant Seath on me,
Symptoms.
Not after we've come this far.
Hit run. Alright, time to turn Seath on her.
Bartanolus is trying to use our fear against us.
He knows that if he threatens us with another 10 hours of this game, we'll quit. I like the save point idea, but I like to just figure that the graphics designers are like, hey, so I just found this brand new thing. It's really cool. It's called the Kaleidoscope. They're like, oh my god, yes. We should use that. I think it's supposed to be Lindsay. I'm not sure, though. I don't remember. It would make sense if that was Lindsay. Oh, yeah. Feel that brightness. Be blind. Be blinded by the lightning.
Let's do this.
Do like weird stuff, right? Now remember, we're not going to kill Orphan. We're fighting our fate. No matter what, we will not do what the villain wants, and we will not defeat Orphan.
This is it.
Moment of truth, hero.
Heroes don't need truth.
Little lights. Just like in Eva.
Life's spark shines on, once freed from its fleshly shroud.
Dodge!
Sarah!
Dreams, meanwhile, shatter in a flash.
Dodge! No!
Think. Where's the real Sarah?
Yeah, literally, his whole shtick is illusions. Come on, guys. I actually have had a theory for a while now that the bird is the real him. The owl.
It isn't real. It's just Fauci smoke and mirrors.
And that all the forms we fight and all the appearances, that's all an illusion.
They play tricks.
I don't know if that's true. It's just a thought I've had in the back of my head for a while.
At last, my errant l'Cie.
That's that.
Men fight men. Men battle beasts.
You should get that hat, William.
Cocoon wars with pulse. There can be no end to such conflict. But Cocoon's end is imminent and inevitable. Will you not at least slay Orphan and make it quick, as an act of mercy?
Good fortune,
Mercy?
Brigwin.
You mean murder. And Cocoon won't die. We're not here for that.
We're not gonna kill Orphan.
For you.
Such willful insolence. Disappointing.
Well, they're here to kill Bartandalus, see.
Prolong Cocoon's suffering. And to what end? Refusing me but condemns another to face your focus tomorrow. If you truly seek salvation, you will obey.
I mean, the bird's also in the shot a lot of the time when he's flying around. I don't know, it's just an idea.
Now!
I forgot to redo my paradigms. Because I actually did have an idea for another one. Whatever. This reminds me of something that I think Dakoita mentioned a while ago. If the player bothers to sit down and put the time and effort into grinding, they should probably be rewarded by being a death machine. I have put the time and effort into grinding. I am not a death machine.
Turn the tide!
Face the truth.
Also, most pathetic ultimate in the series. Jesus. Yeah, by the way, third time we fought this asshole.
Fulfill your purpose and gain eternal life.
That would have been hysterical, Roxy. I would play that. Everyone in chat, I want you to imagine a game where Bartandalus is voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. Listen, you gotta complete your focus! Pitiful mortals!
Heralds anew. Embrace
Turn the tide!
slum having stolen.
Ow.
Got your back. Gotta stay in control.
No utility.
Now, anybody who knows me knows I'm usually under-leveled in these games. Being over-leveled is kind of weird. Oh yeah, we're cutting up the guessing game in like 30 seconds. So if you want to update your guess, this is your last time to do it. Pull up that sheet myself here. Yeah, but think about how much leveling I put in there, Pitkiss. Also, fully maxed weapons.
Release. At last, release.
It's done.
Well, we did it. We beat the game and we saved the world.
All right!
Oh, hug. Or kiss. Not you two.
It's that bird again.
Telling you.
Yet it was more every second. To flare a shell, humans should not fly. To start a shell, and they will not die. Slaughter and salvation. Two irreconcilable focuses we bore. Yet bound were we in a cocoon prison, impervious to our power. And so we thank you for granting us our longed-for birth.
What?
No, not anymore.
We are the abandoned. Born, but now to die
I like how its name is Being.
is orphaned. By our hand shall be death's
Well, it's okay. We said we wouldn't kill Orphan. So we're cool. Anyways, let's go kill Orphan. Hang on, gotta do this the whole time. Oh, he's not doing it.
Let's go!
Pity souls.
Okay, that's cool. Especially since I didn't have a chance to even act before you did that, but whatever.
Thanks. Thank you. Let's go!
Oh, no, he's doing it, by the way, with the hand. Watch his hand. Something about his hand animation has always amused me. His idle animation is like just this weird hand thing. It's just him standing there. It's like, yes, yes. Ooh, ooh.
Got your back.
Alright, time to call in Super Lesbian Animal RPG.
Take down the enemy.
Yes. Yes. Good. Hello, Reggie. How are you? Yes. Yes. I love how we're hitting for about 50,000 a hit. It's scratching the pain. You know? This health is just like, what? He's also flashing in a really unpleasant way. It's unrelated, I just thought I'd comment on it. Okay, a little over half health actually isn't too bad for that. Sadly. Oh no, this is supposed to be a ludicrously long fight. Okay, notice it takes away control for that. There's nothing you can do about that. You're just supposed to kind of adapt to it. Speaking of...
Got your back.
Listen, his dick is so big. It's that big. It's right there. You can see it. I guess their dick at this point? Because, like, Barthandelus merged with Orphan for some reason. They never really explained that. I've always assumed that it's like, you know, Barty is trying to force us to kill Orphan by becoming Orphan, so we'll kill him, and... Anyways, we're just killing Orphan, which is the exact thing the enemy has wanted us to do the entire game, and we've been professing for 20 hours we would never do. I think you're right, it could be Eden as well. Hey, let me just check the Libra thing. Let's see, let's read the text at the bottom. Yes, yes, I see. Fascinating. I had no idea.
Thank you.
Here. Hope's dead.
Move on instinct.
God dang it. Literally! Sorry. Yeah, I'll take a Deus Wrap. Deus Wrap supersized. Extra hope. Can I get a side of Hercules? Mythos fries. Oh yeah, can I Ragnarok size it? Oh, and some Divine Ambrosia, please. Olympian-sized.
Ever pause to consider our reason for making the sea of men?
Still doing the hand thing, by the way.
For a single purpose, and granted finite power to that end. With men, it is not so. Men dream, aspire, and through indomitable force of will achieve the impossible. Your power is beyond measure. We take the sea, that we might wield such strength. Through you, we obtained freedom from our bondage. And now, your focus alone remains. Defy it, and all will be for naught. Cocoon's sacrifice, and that of Grandpa's as well.
Vanille!
Yet, if we but summon the Maker, we will be granted the chance to begin again.
None of this is new info.
Our sins absolved, and the world born anew. Submit the sea. Become Ragnarok. Lead us into the light.
Let her go!
We have no need of flawed the sea.
Orphan! I'll do it. I'll destroy you.
Didn't we just do that?
Ragnarok. The will to guide a world unto oblivion. Can you bear the sin of our salvation?
You heard me. I said I'll do it!
You can't! I'll be fine. And you can't forget our promise. We promised to save Cocoon. We promised!
I made another promise too. To protect my family.
Fang?
Sometimes.
You gotta choose! Back off!
What did you do? This ain't the time to be losing it, lady!
You too, huh? What do you gain from hurting Vanille? We're in this together.
Well, this is the second time they've done something with Fang like this. Game, I guess?
Everything I do. Why? Is this what you meant to happen? All of them.
Did you know I'm evil, by the way?
After all we went through.
Anyways, they're all Seath. And there's no recovering from being a Seath, obviously.
Guess I deserve it. After what I did.
What did she do, exactly? Like...
Are they my sin to bear for choosing salvation?
Please, stop.
What is this cutscene? Is this just me? Is this just me? I need to know. This is so bad. I feel like I'm watching 3 separate cutscenes, but it keeps like the pages are out of order, and so they just keep, you know, up, and then this, and then this, and then this. Well, you see, they turned to Seath because not explained.
Sacrifice, miracles of misery. From shattered shards, a new crystal legend will arise.
Like, speaking as someone who did a lore run of this, I know what they're going for, but that's not really what I'm concerned with as a reviewer.
Let anger be your strength.
You know?
Despair. Despair and save us all. Lo, the day of wrath is come.
I like how that's the cutscene they picked for freaking Zaz, by the way. This is when he attempted suicide. Jesus. You fake attempted, excuse me. Yeah, and then Snow attempted suicide.
We just had things worth fighting for.
Yeah, lightning is punching Snow. Yeah, still doing the hand thing. Still doing the hand thing.
Yet again. How many times must you fail?
Yes. Yes, the hand, yes. I would make fun if it wasn't so funny. Like, he really does. He does the hand thing anytime he's just sitting there idle. Look at him.
Let me go.
Look, I could face the day if I could beat up Snow. I'm just saying.
The form of Ragnarok. Deliver us that which we have too long been denied.
What is this, KOTOR? I'm gonna torture you into doing what I demand.
What do you want?
Literally torturing and then healing, by the way, which is really messed up when you think about it.
Yourself in hatred. Let it infuse your soul with the strength it craves.
Okay, pause. Hold up. This is such a density of negativity. I have to actually pause a moment before I lose it. I don't mean like lose it as in go crazy. I mean lose it as in lose the thread of how much bad is going on here. 1 second, please. Oh, wow! 2 people guessed this would be a net positive game. One of them guessed it would be in the 300 range. Positive 300 range. Anyways, let's see here. Hi, Baron. What's going on? Okay, here we go. Let's just get some random music going. If they skipped the minus symbol, well, their name is Umbral Magnus, and they can tell me that, and I can fix it. If they didn't skip it, Okay. Okay, you forgot the minus. Okay, okay, okay. I can fix that. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus, Baron. It's bad, yeah. This game... this game... I've been thinking about it. I think pound for pound, this might be the worst behind the scenes for a Final Fantasy title. But I say that knowing FF15. Yeah, no, we went into it quite a bit during the lore run. I wish I could say that was on purpose, D20. Totally planned it. Yeah, no. No kidding, Lertval. Remember, we have a category in the LGAs for most interesting behind-the-scenes info. Just saying. FF14 1.0, was that a giant mess? It's an interesting question. Allow me to pull up my own website here. Let's do this here. Okay. I'm going to go to the review page. I'm going to scroll down to the FF14 page. I know what you're saying. And then I'm going to hit the VOD. And it's going to take me to the very first VOD of the FF14 review stream. And I'm going to link it to you. And I'm going to say, go watch that. Because it is impossible for me to summarize FF14 1.0. That first video is about 2 hours of me just explaining the behind the scenes of 1.0. I'm not trying to be flippant. I'm really not. I'm not being like, no, the point is that it was so much that I can't give you a TLDR, right? Or a TLDW, excuse me. There's no TLDW here. Oh, I get what you're saying. There, how's that? Is that clear? Because it's the first final boss, so it's the first fight. But, yeah, there. I would say only a few FF games have a convoluted plot. 9 comes to mind immediately. 7 mostly suffers from bad localization. The plot itself isn't particularly complex. Or convoluted. '15's is a bit of a mess for the same reason as 13's. 13.2's is ironically extremely simple. Now let me explain 13.2's thing. Time! There you go, there's 13.2's plot. Is this not on random? It is on random. '13.3's plot is rats. there's more to it than that. Sorry, you probably don't want that song. No, we can call it 13-3. Everyone else calls it 13-3. Yeah, I'm gonna punch time until we break out of this. Oh my god, I can't believe that was a plot point. Okay, I need to focus because this is so bad and on so many levels. All right. I'll kill you to death. Sorry. I should probably unmute myself and not mute myself. Okay, okay. I've given a couple of negatives. And
Your awakening demands an offering of pain.
Vanille, run.
No! I swore I wouldn't run away!
Not explained.
Miracles out of misery. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, Fang. Who'd be dumb enough to swallow that crock?
Sure. We've all had better weeks.
You're alive!
But you can't be.
Could be more Fal'Cie smoke and mirrors.
Not explained, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Like, at all. If I was being generous, I would say that because Bartantalus is part of Orphan, that was all just an illusion to trick Fang and Vanilla into becoming Ragnarok. But, frankly, that's stretching a bit. Because they, like... Well, if that's the illusion, then what were they doing the entire time? And yeah, the game itself also makes absolutely no attempt to explain this at all.
We made you go it alone.
Second time now, isn't it?
Oh, for God's sakes. Come on, let's go. I'm losing patience with this. Me.
But where were you?
Somewhere cold and dark. Just thinking about everything that happened up until now. And then it was like...
It was like I had a glimpse of the future. Everyone was smiling and laughing. Even Sarah. Even Light.
I don't know. New focus or something. I'm thinking it didn't really make sense, of course. I mean, knowing we were worm bait and all. But as luck would have it, next thing I know, I feel somebody pushing me right along.
You were there too, Fang. Same side. All of us.
Okay, stop. So yes, as I discussed in the lore run, the whole idea here is that Etro personally divinely intervened for the second time, if you're paying attention, and not for the last time in this game alone. Okay. The problem with that is basically everything. If Etro has that level of power to personally intervene on such a micro level, what the hell has she been doing this entire time? Among other problems with that. Like, yeah, I'd say that's a good point. I don't think they have mentioned Etro. They actually even mentioned how Etro was specifically the one who stopped Ragnarok last time, and then put Fang and Vanille into Crystal, and put them up onto Cocoon. But I don't think they mentioned her by name at all, and I don't think they've done anything to really properly explain who or what Etro is. So, it's just like, yeah. Etro's just like, yeah, I got you back. See, here's the real problem. There's actually a term for this in literary circles. I don't know what the proper term for this is. I usually hear it referred to as the Gandalf problem. When you have someone aligned with the forces of good, who has a sufficient amount of power to be able to just kind of fix things, then it's now the writer's job to explain why they don't. You can see why it's called the Gandalf problem. So, yeah, it goes back to the very original term, Deus Ex Machina. For those of you not aware of this, the term originally boils down to the fact that a lot of plays, especially in the Greek era, would literally involve a deity coming down and being like, "What's up?" and just fixing the problem because they can. Because they can just do that. There's your Deus Ex Machina, God in the machine. It is, yeah, it's yeah, and then they read the moral of the story, and there we are. Yeah, curtain. I would say worse, Umbral Magnus. Sora coming back from Heartless mostly bothers me because of how quick it was. Although... But yeah, no, I agree with Pillars of Snow. Remember how I've pointed out how large amounts of the game are clearly absent? And that's not just from the fact that we know large amounts of the game were absent because they're in 13.2 and because we have interviews and resources and all kinds of... Even if you just play 13 and you've never read the behind the scenes, and you've never read the interviews, any of that kind of stuff, you can still tell just by looking at 13 that there's giant swaths of cut content. It's obvious, right? I would not be surprised if a lot of the stuff with Etro and Pulse and Lindsay and all of the greater Mythos connections were supposed to be in the section where the game just kind of started racing downhill, right? So, Moving on.
Together to the end.
Also, just to repeat what Chad said, is this the time for this?
Listen, you're not alone anymore.
Yeah, but no, I'll tell you what Bartanelus is doing.
We stick together. You hear me?
Yes, I promise. We promised, didn't we?
I like how that one fireball was enough to basically kill him, ignoring the 2 battles we've done already.
The brand of a l'Cie. The symbol of the focus we all faced. The mark of the fate we all shared. Proof of the promise we all made.
So anyways, the actual final boss now.
Never die.
Whoop.
Come on. We've got a world to save.
By killing Orphan.
If we have the power to destroy Cocoon, then we have the power to save it.
By killing Cocoon.
You say you want your day of wrath, do ya? Well, it's coming right up.
Time we gave the people what they really want.
No, I'm sorry. You realize this, right? Like, I feel stupid even pointing this out. Their big plan is that, screw you, we won't let you die and cause the death of everyone, so we're gonna kill you.
We can do it.
That's their big plan.
We made it this far.
Right.
Let's make a real miracle happen.
Lady Luck sure ain't on his side.
I actually had a thought about this, if I might be so bold. A real thought, not just a making fun of thought. I've actually run into this problem myself. How many of you have ever written a story, or like worked on a story or whatever, that needed a final boss, but the story doesn't support one existing? Because that's this. Like, really, for realsies, FF13 narratively would actually be best suited by literally not having a final boss. By just being like, nope, peace, we're gone, we're gonna help evacuate, bye. What? Bye. You know. And yeah, no, obviously that's a weird problem to run into. But I don't think they did the work necessary to make that work. It's like, if you have a story that is best served by not having a final boss, then maybe you need to fix that in some level. Oh, Gate of Etro, by the way. It's the eye-looking thing. It shows up periodically in the game. It's that thing right there, the purple thing.
You overreach yourselves.
Ugh.
No, we overreach you.
Is that so?
You don't believe in anything. You gave up on life before you were even born. Sat poisoning Cocoon from the inside, waiting for someone to come and destroy you. Sure, you think the end of the world is salvation. All you care about is death's release. So take it, and leave the rest of us alone.
But if you kill Orphan...
When we think there's no hope left, we keep looking until we find some. Maybe Cocoon is past saving, but it's our home, and we'll protect it or die trying!
Yeah, final boss is timed, by the way.
the impossible possible. That is our focus.
I might look this up because I don't want to do all that again. And I don't remember how to do this.
Find your own road to hell.
There's Doom. There's our timer.
Thanks.
Actually, that's a good point. I'll just start doing this while he's buffing.
Something to remember. Something to remember. You're open! Thank you.
I don't remember how else you're supposed to do this.
Appreciate it.
Really, I'm not.
Fade to white.
Follow my lead!
Yeah, by the way, you can launch Orphan, which I find hysterical. Yeah, no, so in case you missed that, Army of One bypasses everything. So even her total immunity is bypassed by Army of One. You stagger her, which then enables you to kill her. The target time for that is 1:55, by the way. Crystarium expanded! What? By the way, near as I can tell, nothing anywhere tells you that Army of One bypasses invulnerability. So I sure hope you brought a walkthrough for that. Anyways, we did it! We killed Cocoon! Or, I mean, Orphan. Eden? God, I don't know.
We're here to stop him. We've come to save Cocoon, right? Right.
After it's just like, I just fixed this! What are you doing? So yeah, Etro's third intervention, by the way.
Stay together!
Hey, grab my hand.
Okay.
Fang! Vanille!
So you thought we were joking about the power of lesbians.
Vanille?
Wishes can come true. But not if you just wait for miracles. Ready. Miracles are things we make for ourselves. Here and now.
And so, yeah, as I am fond of pointing out, the logo of the game, which is right there on the title screen, is actually the ending. You can actually see Vanille, Fang, and Ragnarok surrounding Cocoon right there, right on the title screen. Now, I've commented on this before. I actually think if the game ended here, I would like it more. I know that's awful to say, but it's true. They completed it, they saved Cocoon, they saved everyone, their focuses are done, and they turn to Crystal. The end. As you might imagine by how I'm prefacing this, that is not how this ends. Oh yeah, I have to mute this, by the way. Because I told you Etro would poke her head in one third time. Third and final time for this game. In fact, this action right here, this is not a joke. This divine intervention by Etro actually causes the entire plot of 13-2. The game is muted. And shall remain so. I ain't messing with that nonsense today. Listen, moms are tough. So they can just kind of stay dead, I guess? I don't know. No, Etro actually, ironically, doesn't have anything to do with the Lassie. Or even the Fal'Cie. Etro was a normal human being. Oh, by the way, I'm not the only one who remembers that Pulse is supposed to be a death world, right? That we all just landed on. Just pointing that out. Aww. Friends. They're friends. Yeah, so Etro used to be a person, a human being, and died under certain circumstances, and in the consequence, ended up meeting Buna Velzablah's mother, and was gifted the power of the afterlife as a result of that. So she's basically the god of the dead, or the god of death, depending how you want to think of it. Oh yeah, and time. I told you it'd be about 2 hours. I was right. Yeah, they call it the Unseen Realm, which is basically the afterlife, but, like, less organized than it usually is. Yeah, Etra just kind of pokes her head in. Huh? Quit it. Wow. Just for funsies, I've had 2 counters going this time around. The blue one here is for how many times we say heroes. It was a lot less than expected, 20. And I'm doing this for a reason. So there's this weird phenomenon, right? Where people will meme on something and remember something, but it's actually not that common. And they'll just kind of completely forget the other thing, which is way more common, which is a better example of it. Surface level thought, repeated plans of mimeticness, and all sorts of stuff. And I've talked about this concept. Yeah, it's like the baby in Other M, which is actually a perfect example of that, because they stopped using the word the baby after like an hour into Metroid Other M. It was only like 13 usages of the word. By contrast, how many times do you think they said Sarah's name? Usually with just Sarah! Remember, they said heroes 20 times, just to give you perspective. They said Sarah! 117 times. That would be funny, but well. I love how they put in the cutscene of lightning beating up snow. Why do they keep putting that in? That is like the 3rd time they've had a flashback to lightning beating the crap out of snow. Speaking of beating snow, stab. Speaking of snow, he's in a lot of these. No. Kind of? Okay, hang on. So, rewind. 13.2 and 13.3 were not planned. Let's make that very clear. But Versus and Type 0 were. Thing is, if you're familiar with it, Type 0 and Versus, that is to say 15, barely have anything to do with this at all. In fact, Boon of Elzebla is basically Bahamut over in 15, to continue that parallel. And 13.2 and 13.3 are direct sequels of 13.1, so... Wait, I know what a nepo baby is. What's like the inverse of that? What's like a nepo parent? What's the term for that? I went with Sugar Mama because I couldn't think of anything else. Music's great. No complaints. Tune in for Final Fantasy 13-2. Timey-wimey! No, wait, I've got a better subtitle. Final Fantasy 13-2. We swear it's a good game this time. I mean, I have no idea. I've never reviewed 13-2. Has no knowledge. Kill God, Mr. Red. Taste. Tastes like incest. All right. And a swan for some reason? I don't know what that's all about. I was actually going to link a speedrun here, as I often do, but I'm so far into this that we're just going to get some music on. Let's see. I've got FF13 music. So let's listen to some FF13 music. What's up, Pillars of Snow? Is there something you'd like to say to me? I'm ready. I've just eaten several gods, and I'm backish. Okay, fine. We'll stop listening to amazing FF14 music just because of Pillars of Snow. This is her fault. So instead, we'll listen to some FF13 music. I actually don't have any songs from Typo on me. Oh, I get what you're saying. Never mind, sorry. Okay. This just... Oh, man, that outro tanked. Good God. I'm sorry, that outro tanked. Is it worse? That's the real question. Is it worse than Third Birthday? I don't think, I don't know. Third Birthday is obviously a more vulgar game. Still a great word for that. But that's not what I'm covering. That's not how this works. Ten negatives just on the gameplay access to the outro. Nothing is worse than Third Birthday. Nothing. I mean, this is something that's actually been brought up as a criticism of my review system. For example, and I'll use a specific example. If we ever reviewed E.T. on the Atari, it probably wouldn't review that badly. Because there's just not that much there to qualify for such, you know, the kind of negatives that would be required for that to be a terrible game. There is no story access, so that's already in its favor. And it's an extremely short game with not much meat on its bones, so there's just not many negatives there. And therefore, my review system is wrong. I have nothing to add to that. That's just the argument that has been leveled. You may make up your own mind. Yeah, hypothetically, we could review Pong. It'd be an extremely short review. It'd be about 30 minutes of discussing the behind-the-scenes of Pong. And playing it for about 30 seconds. And then being done. Oh, E.T. is a terrible game. Actually, no, I've actually played it. I actually am going to review Tetris during the NES block. It'll be the NES version of Tetris, obviously, but that's a fairly... That was one of the big common versions of Tetris. I don't know what to call that. One of the versions of Tetris, it was the Game Boy and the NES versions, both. They just kind of got everywhere. Yeah, they did a whole movie, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the behind the scenes of Tetris. A little romanticized, as movies often are, but still speaks to it. My aunt was really into Tetris, and very good at it. She could always school me on that. Well, yeah, absolutely, Loke. I mean, for example, anything PvP-centric is just not even... Like, there's no reviewing that. So we don't even try. Nine negatives to outro on the story axis. So I've kind of already done the main audit, but in the interest of due diligence, I'll do another run through just to be sure. I actually did play Dr. Mario. I sucked at it. So I never really got into it, because, yeah, it's hard to get into a game you can barely play. I'm glad it's been working, Mook. I hope it continues to work. Please. How that tends to go. And see you around, Drax. Hopefully. No, that's not right. Yeah, I am a little weirded out how grindy this game is. Intellectually, I knew it was a bit grindy, but I didn't realize just how frequently the grind was. And how much the game doesn't reward grinding. Like, if I could use a weird counterexample. Dragon Quest I on the NES is a grindy game. However, every single level you gain in Dragon Quest I is a noticeable increase in power output. Nowhere is this more obvious than at the very beginning of the game, where you start off weak and pathetic, and you have to go back to town repeatedly, even before you get your first level, trying to fight your basic slimes. But the moment you hit level 2, all of a sudden your power output increases substantially, and by that point you usually can afford a sword. Sword plus level 2 equals crushing all the enemies nearby, and you can upgrade to the next highest enemy. It's designed, for lack of a better way to put it. A friend of mine was going through Dragon Quest I NES for the first time, never played it before, and found it amusing how the game was designed. Like, here's your home base, right? You go out a little bit, then you recover, and then, like, as you progress, you can go out to more and more and more and more of the overworld map until you basically have access to the whole map. And remember, Dragon Quest I is actually really small, so it doesn't take that long to reach the point where you have access to the whole overworld map. And if that was the end of the sentence, Dragon Quest I would be really smooth and cool and awesome. Problem is, Then you get to the last dungeon, which is just randomly another grind wall. But other than that last dungeon, DQ1 is actually pretty smooth. Go figure. Thank you, Blade Taval, because, yeah, I'm curious. Oh, man, I'm going to get some hackles over this one. But whatever. If I am not confident in my own ability to do my due diligence to earn an opinion at this point in my life, I should just throw in the towel. I mean, you know my answer to that, Loke. It sucks, it's awful, it's dumb, it's stupid, it's terrible. End statement. So I'm doing... This is actually technically my second audit, because I did this last night, too. I think you killed the bot, too. You did kill the bot! My bot! There we go. Like, I'm not even being facetious. Discord is just being stupid. I'll even guarantee you exactly why Discord is doing this, because it's so obvious and easy. What has happened is that they have gone public, or are going public. I forget where they're at in that process right now. And they want to show that they're saving money, because the only thing shareholders care about is saving money. So rather than spend the extra time and effort and money on having a separate team who manages each of the various requirements of Discord internationally, they're just going to we're just going to flatten the rules worldwide. That'll be cheaper and easier. We don't have to hire more people. We don't have to deal with things. It'll be cool. We'll save money. The shareholders will be happy. Right up until we take them all up back. All right, so. Let's see here. Yeah, it's there. I even just double-checked. Playdraw. Yeah, I saw that too, Roxy. They're really trying to lean into this. Look, I got an idea. Let's make it so the shareholders have to go start working at McDonald's for the rest of their life to be able to survive. That sounds fair, right? Yeah, go work a real job. No, I did not, Kid Viper. I haven't touched Minecraft in a long time. It's gonna be irritating if I have to do that just to be able to play the damn thing. No, I've already done a low run of this game. There's nothing new for me at this point. Granted, that was 9 years ago, but still. The overwhelming majority of shares and shareholders are actually investment firms and holding companies, which manage other people's wealth. So, if you were to presume it's the investment firms, then yeah, they're not people. And if you were to presume it's the people the investment firms are working for, then it's just rich people. I shouldn't say just. The overwhelming majority of it is rich people. The amount of money that, like, we do, that we put into the stocks or in shares, is absolutely microscopic compared to the majority of shares that float around the market. Yeah, exactly, Moog. Yeah, whatever, if every single one of us combined all of our money and invested into the stock market, it wouldn't even be a rounding error compared to the actual amount of money that other people put in. Individual people. We are not the shareholders, is kind of the point I'm trying to get across here. Hey, Matt Overlord. We'll see, Loke. I have actually already discontinued my Discord Nitro subscription. I did that the moment the news dropped, and then I found out later that other people have been trying to unsubscribe and having issues because the unsubscribe service has been clogged. Yeah, I've stayed subscribed to Disco for years because it is very useful to me as a business tool for my show. It is literally a business expense for me. If they're going to get rid of that, if they're going to try to be terrible about it, then you don't deserve my money. Right, Von Falkenstein. Yeah, there really is no Discord 2 waiting in the wings right now. We actually lucked out with Discord for a long time. It lasted longer than most of them do. But the moment they said they were going public, that was pretty much the beginning of the end, and we all knew that. No company has ever survived in terms of quality by going public. Negative 29 to story. Could be worse. What was Third Birthday's negative to story? I'm just curious. Nintendo, as usual, is kind of in a weird space. Negative 63. Wow. Yeah, we might have to migrate just back to a regular old forum again. That'll be a thing. That's going to be a minefield in Epic, because I'm about to find one that isn't ad-riddled, virus-riddled, and AI-riddled. All three. Work, Roxy. Setting up your own forum is certainly a possibility. An insane amount of work, but it is doable. It's more or less the same reason I don't host videos on my site. Because... it's doable. I'm not saying it isn't, it's just... oof. You know. As of the moment, yeah, I'm at it. I hesitate to speak about that thoroughly because I haven't reviewed pretty much any of the other FFs yet. Like, I've reviewed FF1, Mystic Quest, and 16, and then this one. A tier list of my favorite works of fiction. Like, all works of fiction? Ever? Oh, Jesus. I don't even know where I'd start with that. I gotta break it down more. I gotta break it down by category. That's just too much. So no, would be the answer to the question. Time to play Ride to Hell Retribution. Hell yeah. This time-traveling robot werewolf. Nintendo does their own thing. I'm not defending them, it's just Nintendo does their own thing. That's been true for a long time now. I don't think FF3 would have this bad of a story. Gameplay? Maybe. FF3DS is the other FF I've usually held as the worst of the FFs. Specifically the DS version. Story-wise? Well, there is 15. Not that we'll review it. But there's 15, there's 8, there's 13.3. I don't think anything else has even a chance. Alright, enough of this FF13 music. Let's play music from the best FF ever made. Yeah, 11 is... I have no idea. I can't even begin to guess about 11. Despite the fact that I'm max level with a bunch of stuff, I basically know nothing about 11's story. So... You see my point, though, right, Walker? Like, nothing else is even in punching range. Nothing else is even close. Oh, absolutely, Dr. Winter. I mean, the whole fighting fate thing is another good example of that. So I'm up to the eyes here. Give me a moment, please. Sorry, Roxy. I always find it funny how many YouTubers use video game music because they think most people won't recognize it. I guess most people don't. I shouldn't say it that way. I recognize every single song they use. They really love to use Mario RPG and Earthbound music in general. Like a lot. Well, not only that, most people aren't super familiar with the Mario RPGs or Earthbound. So it doesn't it's not like using, say, Mario music. Well, like main Mario music, because everyone's gonna recognize main Mario music. Like, if I was to pull up, hang on a sec. This. Oh, wrong song. Nope. There we go. Nobody's gonna recognize this. Nobody knows what this is. You might be able to tell the system just because of the sound font. Oh, this is Yoko Shimomura. So how replayable do we think FF13 is? I've heard that too, that riff person. Like I said, it's just video game music in general that they like to lean into. I can't say anything. I've been doing that since high school. If you were somehow in the Topeka area in the 90s and watched the local television station, you would hear a bunch of video game music. So, no judgment. It's just amusing. Oh, wow, Dr. Winter. That's kind of cool, actually. In a weird way. Where's, Hang on a second. It's like, what if I played this music for you? And by the way, good guess, that was Superstar Saga. The GBA version, specifically, not the 3DS one. I can do harder. Hang on. Oh god, where's the song? By the way, this is Mario 3D World. Too easy? Oh, give me a second. I'm trying to find a specific song. I'll give you a hint. It's still a Mario game. It's the only hint you're getting, though. Good guess, Sky Blue. Not it, but good guess. Wow. Sorry, I'm looking at the finalized numbers and doing my final checks, but wow. I'll give you a hint. It's a net negative. By the way, that was the Super Dragon boss battle in Mario Odyssey. In the Ruined World. The Dark Souls boss, as people like to say. Do it, Pillagers now. The document is edible. Editable. It is not edible. Don't try to... No, no, don't eat it! Pillagers, no, no! We lost her. This is actually one of my favorite boss songs. There's a lot of really banger boss songs in Mario Odyssey. Oh, wow. Could someone nominate this for most sushi game, please? Just type exclamation mark LGA. Alright. Yeah, that actually tracks. Ugh. Yeah, I'm actually kind of with you off the deep run. This is funny. Please don't kill me for this. Okay, you know what? Let me change that. If you're gonna kill me, could you make it quick? That's all I ask. Final Fantasy XIII. No! Valerian! No! I'll kill myself. I'll kill myself. Where's... I don't have a knife. I need a knife. -29 to story. That's actually... So I'm just staring... Just staring at JRPGs, right? That's not the worst JRPG we've ever had in terms of story. It is the third worst JRPG in terms of story. Beaten by Lufia 2R and Secret of the Stars. Which... Yeah. That is a third of a negative per hour, but a ratio that is surprisingly good at 38%. I know that sounds strange. I think that's part of what salvages this score. The average story score for JRPGs is 66%, obviously above average, above 50, but that's still not great. Gameplay, still not the worst gameplay JRPG we've covered. Paper Mario Sticker Star and Secret of the Stars both surpass it at -86. However, what is legitimately impressive is the density. Now, hear me out. This is an 80-hour game, right? It's still got a negative per hour, which... Anyways, that is a ratio of 16%, which is not great. So that leaves us our final golden number. Let me line up for you the bottom 4 that are not this game, okay? So I'm just going to tell you this right now. This is in the bottom 5 for JRPGs. So, not counting this, we've got Secret of the Stars at the bottom with -603. We've got Paper Mario Sticker Star with -555. We have Lufia 2R with -504. And we have Quest 64 with -288.51. And you're probably wondering, why did he only give us the points for that last one? So let me say that one more time in case you missed it. Quest 64's score was -288.51. Final Fantasy 13 got -288.95. Corey, it's rare I bother. Usually I don't even tell you guys the points, because it usually doesn't matter. I only go to 2. I only go to 2 digits anyways. But, yeah. And for the record, that is not as bad as Third Birthday. Oh, I'll put one of those towards Hi-Fi Rush, no problem. I still have your sub right up here. There will be a second stream. We're actually doing a whole new game. I don't know what it is. Moving on. Where's our guessing list? Let's see. Who won? Let's see. So that is... Pit Kiss, almost on the nose. Guessed -388. And that is going to go towards Dragon Quest 4, Dragon Quest 5, and Dragon Quest 6. But yeah, final thoughts. Can I just... Really quick, can I get my first final thought out first? Okay. Ugh. Okay, got that out of the way. What's really frustrating about this game, I actually said this on Discord, but I want to repeat this here. This is the Mists of Pandaria of Final Fantasy games. And I mean that, because I was mentally comparing this game to Final Fantasy 1. Shoot, hang on. Oh, damn it, you're right. No! You're right, Walker. Well, because that's my error, I'm still going to give Pit Kiss the thing. Negative 288 would be Dr. Winter, who now also wins. Congrats, Dr. Winter. I'll put that towards Evil Genius 2, Darkest Dungeon, and Wrath of the Righteous. Where the hell was I? Negative 288.95. So I need to explain that, because obviously I've spoken positively about Mists of Pandaria, but that's almost entirely from the perspective of going back and playing it now with things like Dragonflight and new talents and new systems, you know, stuff like that, right? That's, if you ever go back to play Pandaria Classic, what you will run into is a bit of a wall, right? I actually have seen from and heard from multiple people who went back and played Pandaria Classic, who were, for lack of a better way to put it, surprised at how bad it was. And I know what you're thinking. What does that have to do with FF13? Hear me out. FF13 is not bad enough to be kind of a game which you just overcome, right? You know what I mean, right? If you go back and play FF1, or to use the WoW comparison, WoW Classic, there's just this thing where you just kind of chunk right into the mindset of, I'm playing an old and rough game, and so you play it like an old and rough game. By contrast, if you're playing a new and modern game, or I guess I shouldn't say new and modern, you're playing a good quality of life game, then you're playing a good quality of life game, and you just enjoy that. But if you're right in the middle, it's just good enough to have good points and good elements, and like, yeah. And at the same time, it also has plenty of bad. Because I shouldn't say old or new. That's not really the relevant point. It's the good or bad quality part, right? Because, as I mentioned earlier, Dragon Quest I on the NES literally is better designed and balanced than this game. Not being hyperbolic. It just is. Now, you could say it's because it's shorter, but that just works in its favor. You could say it's because they had more time to spend on things like number tables, but that's just because the devs spent their time on something other than a 5-minute flashy cutscene. FF13, it makes perfect sense to me that it would score that badly because it has so much. And if there's one thing that's consistently true, especially in video games, it's that the more game there is, the more opportunities there are to succeed or fail. That's on the game. And given everything that was going on in the behind the scenes of this game, of course it failed more than it succeeded. It doesn't mean there's nothing good about it. I don't even feel the need to defend that. I have given this game plenty of positives on both the story and the gameplay axis, because there's a lot of good stuff going on there. However, this is an 80-hour game. An 80-hour game that was made by people who are doing a terrible job and having trouble at every step of the line, desperately trying to just make this thing and get it out the door, and had such a hard time making it that they had enough leftover material they'd already worked on to make an entire new game out of it. So, yeah, no, that score does not surprise me at all. It does mean we might have hit the bottom for the FFs. The only other two games, I don't think FF8 is going to be that far down. The only other two FFs I think that actually have a chance of going that far down is FF2 on the NES and FF3 on the DS. Both games I do plan to cover someday. Let's push that out a little bit. And 15 can go to hell. I'm never touching 15. I'm done. I'm done. I do hope you've enjoyed. I'm going to go take a little bit of a break because I woke up early because the kiddos. So I'm going to lay down for a bit. Then I'm going to do the post-stream paperwork. We're going to come back. We're going to play a game called Ikenfell or Ikenfall, or I don't remember. But anyways, I have no idea what it is. It's one of those tryout games. So we're going to see what it's like. I'll see you there.